All right. For segment one today, we're going into the dark side of Mutant Chronicles. So I skipped some of the some of the history at the beginning when the series first started.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're gonna dive into that a little bit today when we talk about the Dark Souls and Apostle, or the Dark Soul, not Dark Souls. That's a singular there. The Dark Soul and Apostles. What are they? What did they do? Why are they here? I am not going to read it word for word. You are not going to get the exact to the date down to the pedantic molecule history, but we are going to read a bunch of it and we're going to discuss some of it. And you're going to, by the time we're done here, you're either going to want to know more about the Dark Soul and play the game, or you can be like, oh, whatever, dude.
I want to be a heretic.
You might want to be a heretic. Actually, we're going to, yes, at the end of this first segment, we are going to talk about heretics. Yes. But before we talk about heretics, let's talk about our schedule. Join us Thursday and Saturday evenings on twitch.tv/legionofmyth to watch Heathen Dog and his team of dirty casuals play multiplayer games for your mockery and enjoyment. Here on our YouTube channel, you can watch these game-related segments live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, or check out Friday night show streams. You should check out the one on Friday. Again, got a lot of good, a lot of good comments on that one. People say, that was a great stream. Thank you very much. We are a panel of guests opine, comment, and editorialize on the TTRPG hobby as a whole. Hey, you know that we're a live stream, right? That we haven't pre-recorded this and we're not going to edit it. Did you know that, Heathen Dog?
I did not know that.
I did not pre-record your being here.
I thought I'm just recording. I'm on a soundboard.
No, you are not Memorex.
Oh.
You are not Max Headroom.
Oh, okay. Subscribe. That was soundboard.
That was so. I should, you know what? I actually should, because people. I've got a few comments. I'm not going to go through them when we do the comment section, but I got a couple comments like, Max, by the time you get to the third one, you're phoning those in. You do realize, like, it's not. To be fair, it's not because I don't want to say it. It's because I don't want to bore the people who've heard it 3 times on the live stream. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a little recording of it, like a minute long or whatever, and just hit play, and then I get to be bored like everybody else because I have to wait for it to finish.
There you go.
I think I'm going to do that for future streams. I just haven't got to it yet.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so let me get the book up. Okay, do you have any initial questions? We'll say there, Heathen Dog, for not the heretics, the Dark Apostles. Anything that you want to find out about them?
All right. Well, the Dark Soul. It's a name and it seems like a title.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like evil Jesus or the devil or the great emptiness beyond the universe leaking in? Whatever answer is yes, I'm in.
Well, what if all those answers were yes?
I'm super in. The triumvirate of evil cannot be stopped. Cannot be stopped. It might as well be on the side of the winner.
They're the light. Where are we here? Vehicles, face. What did we talk about last week? Assets, resource, belongs. This is all last week. Adversaries, Dark Souls, and Apostles. Boop. Woohoo. There we go. All right. Well, we're going to find out a little bit about the Dark Soul. And I'll show you, because it's right here, the Dark Soul. Pause it if you want to, or we'll get to it later. But this is probably going to be the longest part. This first section here, the Dark Symmetry Awakens, I am going to read a bunch of this. And it's because this is the history of the game. Why we are where we are. The fall of technology, I think we've covered well enough. They had to go back 300 years. They had to pull stuff out and basically go back to vacuum tubes instead of microprocessors. All right. Like, no quantum computers. And as far as the cults and so forth, we'll breeze over that a little bit. But the main thing I want to talk about is the history, and then get into the Dark Soul and the dark patterns.
I hope it answers this question. The one thing I did not understand or couldn't wrap my head around completely is the fact that the Dark Symmetry affects technology, high technology,
mm-hmm.
much easier than people, but we had that before the Dark Symmetry was released. Why is it attacking high technology better than people, when if it was ever in the universe before, there was no high technology, so it should be better at attacking people? That's what I don't understand. I hope this explains it to me.
I thought I had an answer to your question, but I'm not exactly sure how you're answering it. So how about asking it? So how about this? When we're done with this segment, you come back to me and tell me if that was answered or not.
Okay.
Write a little note or something. Say, okay. Because I can answer that a couple ways. The quick answer is this: think of it as attacking AI. It's not so much attacking circuitry or just like your Cat6 cable, but it's attacking the subroutines within, and it's easy for it to corrupt AI.
I understand what it's doing. I just don't understand why it's so good at it, like out of the gate, when it wouldn't have any experience with it.
Now that part might not get answered. At least I can't answer that off the top of my head. So here, let's start with the Dark Symmetry awakens in 2480 AD, and thank you, game, for using AD and not that BCE bullshit. The first known contact humanity had with the darkness was on Pluto, a planet, by the way, in 24 AD. Or 2480, well, 2480 AD. Can't even get past the first sentence. That's right. The Plutonians need their representation.
That's right.
It was this year that Imperial, again, sometimes it's hard to read some of this stuff like Imperial because I want to say Imperial Corporation or whatever, but the name of the corporation is Imperial. It just sounds weird. I want to say the Empire. But it was that year that Imperial sent out 2 vessels. The Harbinger aimed to survey Pluto in order to determine its suitability for colonization and terraforming, and the exploratory ship, the Zephyr. All right. Upon arrival, the Imperial Conquistadors, which you do remember that is a, what do they call them? It's like the Blood Berets, the special classes. I forget, the iconic classes.
Okay.
Upon arrival, the Imperial Conquistadors quickly determined that the planet could be terraformed and immediately began setting up their massive gravitational regulators. These huge superconducting machines were used to stabilize the gravity, creating a gravity of Earth norm that would allow terraforming to begin. Now, that's a lot of technology when you can stabilize gravity, right?
That is some high-tech stuff. But the thing is, if you're all the way at Pluto, you're basically at the bottom of the barrel here. So you better be good at this by now.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
And please make sure you're monitoring comments too.
Okay.
They set up a combined mining center and laboratory. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a British book. Laboratory. Drilling and installing the regulators took time, but the operation ran smoothly. Did it though? Did it?
Well, up until was it Carl touched it?
After drilling to make room for the 14th and final gravitational regulator, the diamond drill tip shattered as it struck an unknown object 1 kilometer beneath the planet's surface.
Kilometer.
Kilometer. As it was you know what the word that throws me off the most when they have civilization, the Z's and S's, when it's civilization with an S, that one drives me crazy. I don't care about the U and the armor or any of that stuff, but when I see an S instead of a Z, I'm like, ah. Okay, anyway, as it was unheard of for such a high-powered and shatterproof drill to fail. Come on, have you ever heard of the Titanic?
Yeah, it happens all the time, man. I mean, go back a while and a couple hundred years and watch Armageddon. It happens, man.
Right?
Drill bits break. It happens.
The curiosity was piqued, and they decided to investigate, as humans are wont to do. To their surprise, they stumbled upon a huge underground network of tunnels and chambers. Time out. You're on Pluto, a planet way the heck out at the end. Out there, and it skirts the Oort cloud and all that stuff, right? And you're like, huh, there are tunnels here.
Yeah.
What do you do?
2 things now pop into mind. 1, this was an advanced society beyond us, because 2, life did not start on Pluto. It's a shithole. That means people came to Pluto and made underground buildings. Don't mess with this stuff. It's beyond you, bro.
Now, we've only talked about tunnels and chambers, right? How about this next sentence? Bizarre glyphs line the crumbling walls, and there is no doubt that this was the remnants of an advanced alien civilization.
Yeah.
Is this where you know about yet, or do you investigate?
Well, no, this is when all the drillers go home. This is when all the people who aren't archaeologists go home, because drillers are not awesome with the whole don't contaminate an area thing, because they contaminate areas. That's what they do. Not touching things, not in their repertoire. So get them out. Caution tape. I'm investing in a lot of caution tape.
1950s, film strip movie, like, are you the one that's going to touch the artifact? Don't do
Johnny,
it.
Why don't you go and take off your glove in there? That's right. See how it feels. You can't know something unless you touch it.
That's right. That's exactly right.
23 skidoo. Like, whatever.
Awestruck, they proceeded further down.
Oh, God damn it.
At the bottom, they saw parts of the object that broke the drill tip. Well, they did have to find out why the drill tip was broken, right? Unsure of how to continue, the team reported back to their leaders in Victoria. Okay.
All right. So far. That's okay. They made one mistake going in, but they corrected for it by stopping, realizing they're out of their depth, and calling higher ups. Completely respect it. Go on.
Now, what did the higher up say? Well, the Imperial AI instructed them to document the location of the find and leave the object alone.
Listen to the computer overlord. In this instance, it is your friend.
Mother?
Probably it has a little tingle in its transistors going, it's probably going to mess me up, so I'm not going to do it. He can't explain why, but he doesn't have to explain himself to you stupid meatbags.
At this point, the AI classified it as an artifact. It also determined that the most prudent thing to do was, what do you think that is?
To get out.
Oh my God, is this the entire... was.
That's funny.
Cliffhanger. We're still in a cliffhanger. To abort the mission.
Get out.
Pending a thorough investigation of the...
Archaeologists, like I said, put in the professionals, not drillers. So far, this AI is so un-Terminator, it's scary.
But...
the stupid meatbags.
The drill team received a second set of orders from its leaders. The stupid meatbags, who had analyzed the AI's report. And this is a really badly written sentence now. They ordered them to proceed and evacuate the artifact.
Excavate.
Oh, you're right. Excavate. Excavate. You're right.
So they dig it out. No. Dig it out.
The AI said, hold on. We need to look into this more. Humor's like, get it out of there. It's in the way.
Stupid meatbags.
After digging for several days, they unearthed a giant tablet bearing strange symbols.
Sure.
It's shown like polished metal, and all scans and metallurgic analysis gave inconclusive results, stating that it was a material of unknown origin.
Yep. There's the other red flag.
Setting up a system of cranes, they managed to haul it to the base of operations on the surface, where they continued to investigate it.
God.
These further scans determined that it is free of any measurable radiation, toxins, or other harmful properties. Hey, we don't know what this metal is, but it's safe.
Okay, see, that's the problem. Everything in the solar system is radioactive to some extent. Even we are radioactive with carbon-14 in our bodies. This thing gives no measurable radiation, zero radiation whatsoever. That's a lie. Or it's brought from another solar system.
That might be a little bit of pedantry right there. I don't think that they would consider us radioactive. I get what you're saying, but yeah. I think it's normal. It's the same as iron or aluminum or...
On top of not being able to be scanned properly, not knowing what it's made of, giving off no EM readings whatsoever.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of every sci-fi horror movie.
Right. But this is going to be the one time that doesn't come true, right?
Sure. Yeah.
One thing that struck the team as odd and somewhat disconcerting was the fact that the ship's communication system seemed to become increasingly unstable. There was, however, no evidence that these malfunctions were in any way linked to the artifact. Now, here's what I think of when I read this.
Coincidence. Yep.
Well, do you believe in the Pharaoh Tutankhamun's curse?
No.
Okay, well, that's how this reads to me.
Okay, I understand that. But the way I see it is it's giving off no measurable energy. It's giving off energy that we can't detect. I believe that. And that's what's screwing up systems all around it. We see the effect, but not the cause.
Sure.
Because we've never run across this thing before.
But see, you also know the end of this story.
Well, no, I mean, I everything that I don't know, I consider plutonium. I don't understand.
Okay.
Keep it away from me. I don't like it because what happened with plutonium? Oh, I'm gonna start messing with plutonium. Oh, it's great. Oh, I'm dead. But there was no measurable thing that killed you. But you're still dead, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, what was the name of I think they're French. The scientist, the lady, and the dude.
Curie.
Was it Curie?
Yeah.
That was studying radiation.
Polonium. I believe she was investigating polonium, put it through all kinds of tests, proved it was radioactive, proved radiation exists, and then died. Well, thank you for your service. Now we all know to be far away from it.
But here's what happened next. As the artifact was determined to be completely safe, one team member touched it with his bare hands during the investigation.
Lack of readings is not safe. Lack of readings is just a whole bunch of question marks. Question marks are not safe, especially on Pluto.
He was violently brought to his knees, kneeling in front of the artifact. His hands clung to the surface as if stuck in place by a painful electric current. The whole event looking like a morbid act of worship. The skin on his face began to freeze and crack, his eyes turning stark white, and within seconds, the skin violently cracks open in a spray of icy blood. I would have passed out. Yeah. As he fell back, clawing at his face, he uttered 3 words with his near-frozen lips. She kissed me.
Yep. This is the point where at the horror movie, the house tells you to get out, and you don't.
Right?
I don't get it.
The team rushed the dying man to the infirmary on the Harbinger, only to find that all communications and computer systems had begun to suffer severe malfunctions. Fearing that they would shortly be unable to communicate or even able to leave the planet, the head researcher made a decision, sending all scans and materials they had gathered on the artifact, as well as the dying man's last words, back to Victoria. This was the last transmission the Harbinger sent out. What a fateful name, huh? Harbinger.
Yeah, Harbinger, yep.
Around the same time, Clan Murdoch received a distorted message from the Zephyr. The crew reported they found a planet beyond the solar system rich with minerals and resources and suitable for terraforming. They named the world Nero!
Let's all fiddle.
Right? Why would you name the world Nero? No, you name it, well, we already have Venus. You name it Aphrodite. You name it, Minerva. You name it something nice. Augustus. You go with Augustus. It's got a lot of minerals on there, right? We're called Planet Augustus.
I just call it Unicornville.
You could call it Unicornville. I mean, that's still nice. But no, they named it Nero. The crew reported that they were on approach to land. After that, all communications went out and the Zephyr was never heard from again. Don't name it Nero. Now, like I said, I'm going to skip a lot of this other stuff. The fall technology, I'll try to point out a couple things if I remember what paragraphs they were in. Just maybe because it helped Heathen Dog answer that question that he had. But at the beginning, the seemingly sporadic malfunctioning of AI systems across the inner worlds were considered to be a series of inconsequential flukes. But soon people began to realize that something much more dangerous and sinister was at work. As the anomalies increased in frequency and severity, the panic began to spread.
I get it.
The corruption spread. What is it? Okay. In order to avoid a complete disaster and the collapse of civilization, mankind scurried to make massive technological overhauls. They ripped out the AI cores, advanced circuit boards, and logical triggers, re-engineering all these critical systems and replacing them with basic electrical ones.
Okay.
That's when you had the rise of freelancers and pirates and so forth.
Yeah, it's very much like the Battlestar Galactica universe. After the Cylons, were able to quickly hack all network systems, they decided to go low tech. They went back on the technology tree. Everything got slower, but it got more defended.
Rumors began to spread of technology displaying animation and intent. Awesome. These rumors spoke of whole machines, or clustered parts, being bound together and taking on a sinister life of their own. Rumors that would later be confirmed as horrifying reality. Odd disappearances and deaths began to occur throughout the solar system. Witnesses gone mad proclaimed that evil flowed through technology, twisting the minds and bodies of men and women into beings of pure malice. While the dark symmetry was able to take control of machines, it also seemed to be so powerful that it could affect gravitational forces and energies. This led to a new way of traveling between the planets. And we skipped that.
What? Why would they do that?
I don't know, man. Why do we have heretics? Because you like them.
Yeah, but that's why I'm not in charge.
Okay, you know what? As you'll find out, you could be.
Goody.
Okay, dark cults, the fog of war. I'm not going to go into a lot of this. Again, you can read the timeline. What I really wanted to focus on there is how we got into this mess. Now let's read the Dark Soul.
All right.
The Dark Soul. Do you know Forgotten Realms at all from Dungeons and Dragons?
Barely.
Do you know who Ao is? Ao, the god?
Yes.
Okay. It's like the over god that nobody can worship for folks out there. That's kind of what the Dark Soul is.
Okay.
There's one powerful entity behind it all. It has no physical form, and beyond the apostles and a few chosen privileged Nephirites, no one has ever communicated with it or experienced its presence. This power is called the Dark Soul, and is also referred to as the Great Darkness. Basically, if you just capitalize the letter D in darkness and put a word and an adjective in front of it, there you go.
It's that.
Yeah. It is from this source that all apostles and dark symmetry comes.
Great.
The Dark Soul exists outside our plane of existence and its inner workings. What it wants and its methods are unfathomable. Oh my God. I will say the word right. I'm going to do it. Unfathomable. There, just had to say it really slowly. To humans. The only thing that is certain is that it will destroy or corrupt all life. It has a relentless and patience that only a higher entity can possess. It knows that time is on its side. In fact, time is the greatest ally for the Dark Soul is eternal.
Yep.
It's Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Without the tentacles.
Yeah. It was asleep. Now it's awake. And now it's its turn. At the whole, spinning around the sun thing. It's its turn. Not our turn. Our turn's over.
Yep. Because some asshole had to touch a box.
Yep.
Somebody had to open up the puzzle box.
Thanks, Carl.
It's always Carl's fault.
All idiots in this thing, I'm going to call Carl.
Carl. Come here, Carl.
Damn it, Carl.
Dark patterns. All right. The dark symmetry is an energy, a kind of force that surrounds the entities of the Dark Legion, like a sickening and ominous aura. It is from this complex yet primal weave of energy that the Legion draws its power. It is the gate and link to the Dark Soul. Everyone from the apostles, the Nephirites, and the ritual priests of the dark cults draw their energy from this force in order to fuel their evil deeds and powers. Heretics and lesser beings are given the dark blessing by higher entities. We'll learn about that later.
Okay.
And this initiates them in the use of the dark symmetry.
Sweet.
Each apostle represents a certain aspect of the dark symmetry. As this aspect is intimately, not immediately, because it's a whole different word.
Yep.
Intimately tied to the various nature of the apostle and her mission. And why does it say her there? Because the top apostle, Ilian, is female aspect. So don't get all butthurt over that. Directly created from the master symmetry. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that was right where I was. As each and every minion of the apostles is directly influenced or even partly created from their master's symmetry pattern, they are shaped by it. There are way too many commas in that.
I know, right?
This leads to a radical difference between the minions of the apostles, as their powers, outlooks, methods, and appearance are all a reflection of their masters. What this is trying to say, and we'll look at it a little bit later, is that they don't necessarily work in concert. They're not the best of friends even amongst themselves.
No. They have an all-powerful leader that tells them, don't kill each other. This is what I want you to do it. And so they do it. But they all do it in their own way. They all do it in their own time. And they don't like it when each other step on each other, stuff like that. So there's some infighting here and there. Got it.
Alien.
So it's a He-Man episode. This is Skeletor's minions, basically.
Okay, kind of, yeah. I may be saying this wrong, but my vision of it is that the Dark Soul is saying, hey, do this, hey, do that, hey, do the other thing. More so that the Dark Soul is like the evil omnipotence, and these are avatars or aspects of each of that.
So if you say that, then you would say that the Dark Soul is the evil Brahma.
Sure. I'm not as I don't understand the Indian mythology as much.
Okay. Well, Brahma and all the gods are actually just aspects of Brahma, right? So they're just pieces of him that he decided that he wants to exist on its own.
Yeah.
So all of these apostles here are pieces of the Dark Soul that he decided to make manifest. And they were born innately with their compulsions and duties. And so they do it.
Sure.
Okay.
I would might even compare it to like Egyptian mythology, because one of the biggest mistakes that people think is that the Egyptian
Ra's like that too. Yeah.
well, no, not Ra. Ra is just another aspect, but he was the greater aspect. But a lot of people believe that the Egyptians were polytheistic. Well, in a sense, they were, but Egyptian priests thought of one source. I mean, the Ka being the soul, and that was part of the source. But even Ra was aspected from the, even though he was the top dog for most of the dynasties. There's still this understanding that I use the word avatar because we're gamers and we understand it, that all the gods were avatars or aspects of a human conceit, whether it's nature or birth or whatever. Well, now change that to something evil. Instead of just giving it to Set, say, hey, we have Ilion, Algaroth, what's this, Demonganus?
Demnoganus.
There you go. Demnoganus, Semi, and Mujahideen.
Mohadib. Let's go Mohadib.
Muawije. Yeah. Anyway, let's find out what they are. Ilion, the mistress of the void, is the most powerful of the apostles. She is the true embodiment of the dark symmetry and the firstborn of the dark soul. Her control and influence over it is, in its raw form, is unmatched. Through this, she is, in her own way, the one that is closest to the dark soul, and with the guidance and power of her master at her back, there is nothing she cannot accomplish.
Okay, guidance and power says that he's actually giving orders.
I look at it more philosophically, but you might be right. It might be a physical. I just treat it as more of a philosophy, but you could be right. Ilion, though capable of overt displays of awesome power because he basically is the army, prefers to work in the shadows.
She.
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, I thought we moved on. No, this is still Ilion. My bad. This is still Ilion. Ilion, though capable of overt displays of awesome power, prefers to work in the shadows. Forget what I said a moment ago about controlling the army. That's the next one.
Yep.
Her servants infiltrate the very heart of human civilization, breaking down and tearing at that which they trust to protect them. Okay. Using you against you. Due to her insight into the symmetry, her followers are capable of summoning forth denizens from twisted and depraved dimensions and bolstering the onslaught of the other apostles through the
dun dun dun
direction of raw dark symmetry. The mistress of the void is the gatekeeper of the hideous dimensions.
Okay. All right. Now, one sentence in there actually doesn't answer my question, but now it gives a reason why technology was targeted first. Because humans use technology to increase our status on the hierarchy of,
it allows us to do things, whether it's something as simple as gardening or floating out in space and touching things on Pluto.
Technology allows us to be the apex predator on our planet, and I assume in the solar system as well. We use it to nourish, protect us in every aspect of our life. So take it away. I get it.
Yeah. Take it away and revert us back to being monkeys.
Yeah. Now I want to know how they're so good at it out of the gate. After that, then my question will be answered.
I don't know if that gets answered because I don't remember reading an answer to that. My quick answer to you would be they're from another dimension.
Yeah.
They're obviously beings of angelic intellect, right? So, but that's just an off the cuff.
Right.
Now, Algaroth. The black and searing flames of pure destruction are spun by the pattern that surrounds the Apostle of War. He's not a 4 horseman or anything, is he?
No, that's fine.
He inspires his troops to fight and tear asunder all of mankind. He inspires the construction of black technology, racist, unfathomably horrid weapons, and machines of war.
Sure.
The legions of Algaroth are seldom subtle. Notice the opposite here? She was like, let's manipulate things. He's just like, break it down with the big hammer. They are the Annihilators, harbingers of death and destruction. His witchmasters can open gates to dimensions of eternal conflict and bring forth living machines of war.
Ooh.
And his tech runs can corrupt technology or create twisted biotechnology or even force unholy spirits into dead flesh to mold it into destructive necrotechnology. Oh my God, that's
Necrotechnology.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
man,
bathe in that word.
This is sounding great here. I mean,
Oh,
I'm on board.
for folks who don't know, I play a lot of necromancers in Dungeons and Dragons and the Nethermancer in Earthdawn. So drink. So yeah. Oh, what are we talking about? Oh, so sorry, Mr. What?
Oh, do you want to go through some comments?
Well, no, he's a first-time chatter, and he asked, what are we talking about? We're talking about Mutant Chronicles 3rd edition. Do you want to wait till we're done with this portion of it, or do you want to do it now? I don't care either way.
No, it's up to you. It's your deal.
Let's get through this because we'll be out of time because we'll break from this into the heretic part.
Oh, okay, cool.
Where's the flesh? His minions can even implant it into humans and other creatures, merging it with their bodies.
Awesome.
Algroth is therefore also known as the Lord of Black Technology. This makes him the second most powerful apostle after Ilion, as he, and only he, has the knowledge to forge such weapons and machines.
Okay.
Demnogonus, the Befouler, can at times appear to be the least powerful and least controlled apostle. Isn't this the one that gave you your black goo fire thing that you liked?
I think so.
But looks can be deceiving. He has the power to infect, rot, and control purification. A gust of wind that gently caresses the ravaged battlefield may carry deadly and directed sickness. This is my kind of guy.
Awesome.
Demnogonus' followers try to rot humanity from the inside. Infiltrate. This is a horror. This is a horror from Earthdawn. This is corrupt the passions, which are the gods of Earthdawn. Get them to turn against itself. Corrupt the dragon Vestervin. But I'm with this dude. Where they infiltrate hospitals and medical tents on the battlefield, contaminating the blood supplies and fouling the instruments. With but a drop of dark diseases, it can bring an entire city to its knees. Oh, this is China. It's the Wuhan flu. By contaminating its water supply. We now know where it came from. The pattern of Demnogonus allows for the creation of bizarre parasites, microorganisms twisted by dark sickness. The sporadic twisting of humans and animals living in squalor is also his domain. Why? Because nobody cares about them. If it happens to Elon Musk, people notice. If it happens to the hobo shitting on the street in San Francisco, nobody cares. And more than pause. Theocities are unknowing hosts to legions of these armies of decay living behind its walls and beneath its streets.
This is probably the most efficient way to set up humanity to take its final dance on the stage, but it's a little too gross for me. The first two are more my speed.
Yeah, but I as a real human person, I couldn't be part of the Demnogonus. I couldn't. It's too gross for me.
It's gross.
But as a character in a game, because as you know, I like my games to be darker, visceral, so forth. That's
you are
right
picking up. Yeah, you are picking up everything he's putting down. I understand.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it.
Samai. Not only is he the Lord of Spite, he is also referred to as the Master of Dark Sight, the Eternal Liar, the Great Perverted. Well, you might be in on this one. The Great Perverted.
Okay, I'm listening.
He watches and learns. He plants the seeds of distrust and envy, turning brother against brother. He turns trust into suspicion, hope into despair, and love into hate. He should turn it into lust first.
Okay.
He, as Ilion, corrupts man from within.
All right.
The mystics and minions are patient as they observe the ebb and flow of darkness and light. When the time is right, they strike. They're masters of prophecies, foreseeing. Oh, Nostradamus. Yep. They're the ones. So these are the ones that give all the fake quatrains out there for Nostradamus. They're masters of prophecies, foreseeing what their enemies will do. Thousands have been manipulated into falling even before they had a chance to execute carefully laid plans. And when the plan fails, the Lord of Spite makes sure to fuel the paranoia, making allies turn on each other in rage. Jesus Christ, was there a period in there anywhere? Often, when his minions have performed their duties well, no one even knows the Lord of Spite or any dark apostle had a hand in it.
Okay, yeah, I'm behind this. I mean, it doesn't have teeth and it doesn't seem sexy, but this is efficient and
This is the
effective.
Illuminati.
Yeah. This
You're
is
sitting
efficient
back
and
on.
effective because no one's going to find you.
What
No
was
one's
it that
actually going to know what happened.
was that quote from Futurama when Bender met God?
Oh yeah, that was it. That was it. Yeah. I mean, if I do everything right, you'll think I didn't do anything at all.
Right.
Yeah, and that's exactly what this guy's about.
Muawije. That's how I'm pronouncing
Muad'Dib.
it. If that's not right. What's that? Mujahideen.
Muad'Dib.
Whatever the hell he said. This apostle is called the Lord of Visions for a reason. Could you had a vision to have somebody pronounce your name?
Yeah.
Could you have looked into our nog and said that might have been a little too difficult? Just call me Yo M or something.
It's probably a name of great importance in history, but I don't know it.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah.
He weaves the symmetry into threads of madness and sickening dreams, tendrils of insanity that ensnare the mind. So this is Cthulhu.
Yeah.
That ensnare the minds of millions. They stretch across the empty reaches of space and into the very heart of the worlds of man.
Okay.
His followers and minions can induce terrible visions, warping the minds of their victims. They can sunder thoughts and distort senses and even possess the ability to walk between worlds. Now, that's pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
Shifting from one reality to another. This power, in combination with their mind-rending patterned symmetry, there we go, I got through it, can even allow them to manifest the nightmares and paranoid visions of their victims, giving a true form to fear.
Okay, this is also really cool, but again, not up my alley. But
Yeah,
that's also very cool.
Yeah, that's all of them. So
okay.
So yeah, as far as a game, if I were a character and we were playing the bad guys for some reason, yeah, that Demogorgon guy would be the one. What the hell his name is for me? Yeah, Demnogonus would be it for me.
I would be. I think I would be the war guy.
Oh, the war guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you'd go semi.
That'd be my first choice. Semi would be number 2.
Okay. So the war guy was the one that starts with an A, right? Yeah, Algaroth.
Yeah. Algaroth. Yeah.
At least it's a name you can say.
Yeah.
All right. The rest of this just kind of details. Oh, I did it on the wrong screen again. Oh, over here. Zoom out. The rest of this talks about the rise of Ilion. This is you're going to get into the siblings rivalry. This is so what it talks about here. It's not about the brothers. It's not about the good guys. It talks in here about how Ilion is on top, and she knows that the others are kind of plotting against her. But for now, she's like, whatevs. She keeps them also kind of poking at each other. But as long as the darkness is spreading, the dark symmetry is spreading, she's like, whatevs, dude.
Doing her job. Yeah, you guys are doing your job. I don't care. I mean, if you want to take a shot at the throne, come get some.
Yeah.
But it better not affect your job.
I want to do a quick thing on the citadels.
Okay.
I'm not going to read it all.
Okay.
Probably just the first paragraph. These towering monstrosities are pivotal to the war and corruption efforts of the Dark Legion. In order to raise a citadel quickly and accurately, both the power of Ilion and Algaroth has to be combined.
Okay.
When a spot for a new citadel has been chosen, the Techrons of Algaroth and their slave laborers swarm in and begin to construct the foundation. At the same time, the ritual masters and dark priests of Ilion begin to infuse the process with dark symmetry. Twisted, illogical in design to the human mind, you can now run what's that D&D dungeon, the Dungeon of the Mad Mage or whatever it's called that makes no damn sense. You can now run it here in Mutant Chronicles. And utterly terrifying, these horrors stand ready just days after construction has begun. Their black metal surfaces are adorned with the symbols of dark symmetry. And this is where evil forces pop out from.
What do these citadels do? I mean, do they make it easier to open up dimensional portals or what?
Essentially, yeah. They serve several functions. Symbolic value alone. There are also military bases, laboratories, temples, prisons, torture chambers, production units, archives, yada, yada. Most citadels are ruled by Nephrite Overlord. That's, by the way, a pretty powerful creature.
Okay.
A very important function of the Citadel is to bolster the ranks of the Dark Legion. Humans who have fallen are dragged back to the Citadel in order to be twisted and raised from the dead.
Great. All right. So this one building is an all-you-can-eat buffet of command and control nonsense.
Yes. Let's do some questions. I'm not going to separate this video here. I probably could have, I guess, separated to have heretics be its own, but I didn't create the graphic for it, and I'm not going to have time for it after this video. So this is going to be just be a long one. So go ahead and let's.
Here we go. Mac Thompson says darkness attacked a vulnerable new consciousness in AI, a weak gate, so to speak, to enter the world. This is a possible explanation for why the AI was so. Apparently, we made AI so well that it was just like a human consciousness, which it had experience in corrupting from probably before. And so it was easy because it had no innate resistances. It didn't have any antibodies, so to speak. No genetic memory.
I can't answer that. I mean,
Yeah, no, this is all a guess. It's a good guess.
Mhm.
I wish it were true, but it didn't say so in the book, so I won't tell you.
I mean, I don't remember reading anywhere where it said exactly what Ilian did when they freed her. Just she kissed me, and then crap started going weird.
Yeah, got bad real quick.
Yeah, Team Planet Pluto. Also,
Team Planet Pluto.
I've had people argue with me about that. It's like, well, 400, 600 scientists. Yeah, but 40,000 scientists didn't agree. It's just so it happened to be. But here's the real rub for me. I don't care one way or the other. But what people say, well, what about Ceres then? Ceres can be a planet too. I'd rather Ceres be a planet than Pluto not be a planet.
Yeah.
But, okay.
10's a round number, man. Do it.
Yeah.
All right. Reactionary Principle Gaming. With Heathen Dog's attitude, we wouldn't have cell phones, as we can't prove what the long-term effects of technology that hasn't existed for a long time. That's true. And you know why? I'm not sad about that.
Yeah, what's your cell phone?
I have a flip phone. I don't have it with me. I have a flip phone. All right. That is, I have had flip phone, pager, nothing. That's what I've had. That's how many personal communication devices I have had. Exactly how many.
I technically have a cell phone, but people get really miffed with me because I never have it next to me. I very rarely use it. First of all, I work in a secure environment, can't have it. When I come home, ask this guy. I don't. What happens when you try to
times and his wife answers?
Yeah, yep, my wife answers. And when I pick up the phone, what is it
charged?
What does it usually sound like when I pick up the phone?
Hello? It's like, what are you doing?
Yep. I don't and text me is even worse. I had a text message I needed to respond to for an appointment, and apparently it came in 5 days ago, and they're about to cancel my appointment. I caught it this morning. I don't do that shit.
And of course, he says that would be a good thing.
yeah, there you go.
And then we have Crafty saying, why is a common theme in all science fiction to ignore basic OSHA rules and workplace safety procedures?
Well, that's an easy answer.
Actually it was answered by somebody else right after that. I didn't star it though because it was obvious.
Well, let me give my point then. Oh.
There'd be no story.
Well, also this OSHA is too heavy-handed. Fuck OSHA. I'm not going to have 7 people holding my ladder when I climb it. I'm going to climb the ladder. There are some things. Don't get me wrong. There's some OSHA is like unions. There's a good reason why it started, and now it's crazy. Steps have to be this wide. Your railing has to be this. Go away.
Now, there is a caveat for that. When working in space, where any single mistake can result in the death of you and everyone around you, I want 7 people holding my ladder.
Look, man, you see the people who built the Empire State Building, how many people fell off of that thing?
Lots.
There you go. Don't take that job if you don't want it. Don't need OSHA. They were eating their lunch dangling from an I-beam.
Yeah.
As some of you may know, I am terrified. I don't know why. It's a phobia. It's a legit phobia because I can't explain it. I laugh at myself about it, but I am deathly afraid of heights. You would never catch me sitting on that I-beam eating my lunch. Yeah, but you know what? They did. Dark with a capital D.
With a capital D, that's right. That's how we roll. Event Horizon, Alien, 2001. Event Horizon's a good one.
Yeah.
Event Horizon is a good analogy for this.
If only that movie could have been put together the way they really wanted it to. I still love Event Horizon today. I watched it just like a month ago.
Yeah. I have it on my Plex. And another question. Have any novels been written in this verse?
Yes. I don't know how many, but yes. Let me see if I can find one real quickly. You have Google. Let me see. Mutant Chronicles.
Novelization. With a Z or an S. I don't know which one.
Oh yeah, there are a bunch of novels. written. I see 4 right here called In Lunacy, Apostle of Insanity trilogy. Oh, that's an entire trilogy. Okay.
Sweet.
Frenzy, Apostle. Oh no. Okay, so it's In Lunacy, which is part of the Apostle of Insanity trilogy. Frenzy, Dementia. So that's a trilogy, and then there's one here called Golgotha. Oh, Stackpole wrote one. Stackpole wrote. If you guys, BattleTech people know who that is. Stackpole doesn't like me.
Oh.
He said he signed a couple of my books, but then he turned into a douche nozzle, and I let him know. He's woke. So yeah, but hey, Stackpole wrote one, so there's at least 4 right there. So yes.
All right.
There.
My favorite class in this game. Let's hit it.
All right. Now we're going to talk about heretics.
Woo!
And we are going to look at this a little deeper than maybe some people would want for the length of this video, which is why I might still decide to chop it, but let's find out. There are heroes, brave soldiers, and the pure and stalwart souls in the service of the Brotherhood. They stand up for what is right and confront the darkness in bloodied fields of battle. However, the eternal intrigues, ambition, and schemes of the corporations and the corrupting nature of the Dark Legion are a very important thematic ingredient in Mutant Chronicles.
Sure.
Just like we'd mentioned a moment ago that the Dark Apostles are against each other, the corporations are still against each other. You remember at the beginning we started this, we had those lines that went like, I like you, I hate you.
I like you, you like me, you and I are not a family, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. There's that still going on. On top of that, you have the Dark Symmetry messing with everybody, adding to that flavor. And then you have the dumb nuts who are like, dark magic? That sounds healthy. Give me some of that.
Hey. It's not just me. It makes space travel easier. Well, let's harness that beautiful power.
There you go.
It's not just me.
Fair. Yes, Stackpole wrote the Rogue Squadron books as well, yeah. I only cared about his BattleTech books. Actually, he wrote some books on his own. I didn't like his Cartographer series, but like Talion Revenant is a great book. And that was one of the first books he ever wrote. He's got some good novels. Just too bad he went off the freaking deep end. There are myriads of humans that have been tempted by the darkness and accepted what it has to offer. Influence beyond comprehension, prolong life, and unprecedented powers beyond human. Okay, you already said beyond comprehension. You
already said beyond comprehension. Come on.
Some are led astray, while others willingly and with eyes wide open give their hearts and souls to the dark symmetry. They become heretics, humans with the power of symmetry that are just as hell-bent on the destruction of humanity as any necromutant or other vile beast.
Go team.
Go team necromutant. Characters might run across these men and women in their adventures. They might be encountered in the heart of a citadel, in a hidden cult cell, or as a friend who betrays them.
Hi.
In these cases, they will be presented as deadly foes, the ultimate betrayers of mankind. It is, however, entirely possible that your players will want to taste the forbidden dark fruit and play as adversaries of humanity. You can also include 1 or 2 heretics in a normal group of characters, not revealing who the traitor is.
Yep.
Ethan Dog's like, when do I start?
I know. Come on. I got my pen. I'm just waiting to sign. Come on.
Don't let me zoom in.
You've already sold me. You can stop pitching.
Well, we're pitching some more.
Damn it.
Playing a heretic is very different from playing a regular character. First off, to serve the Dark Legion is the ultimate betrayal of mankind.
Yeah, I'm a race traitor. Boo-hoo. I'll cry myself to giant piles of money and loose women and power beyond imagination. Oh my God. All right, whatever. Go on.
Serving the Legion also imposes a lot of risks. The more powerful a heretic is, the greater the risk of discovery by the Brotherhood.
Nah, they're just stupid humans.
Or Luna PD if in the pre-apostle era. The use of dark gifts also increases risk of discovery. By the way, the Brotherhood would kill you and everybody around you just to make sure that we're going to excise the cancer by killing the person. Now, what's the path to heresy? Let's find out how Heathen Dog can now take his first heretical step.
Woo!
Heretics are not a homogenous group. They're not a bunch of inherently evil humans who have joined the ranks of the Dark Legion because it's an easy way to power. Some will undoubtedly fit this description, but many once were, and in a certain sense, still are normal human beings who have ended up in the service of darkness through good intentions. That's right. Good works alone will not get you to heaven. What's that?
That's not me.
Oh, you knew? You want to burn it? You want to burn it all down? Okay.
Yep.
In the end, though, they will reach the point of no return and become truly evil. It is more likely to find doubt among the lower ranks, as those further up have little to no humanity left. That means you can still save somebody who's a lower rank heretic, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
He's got to wait. He's got to get more experience, become seasoned, and understand the universe a little better. And then he's like, oh, wait, the humanity in me is a weakness. I get it now. And then they're on the right path.
Most heretics are spied upon for weeks, months, or years by a soul searcher, a cult spy specializing in finding new recruits. When it's been established they're good candidates, they're approached by a dark magistrate, enabler, or corruptor. I gotta love the recruitment team here, right?
Yeah, I know. You got a lot of different tools in your toolbox here. All you really need to get me is a notary, and we're set. You know?
Oh, I guess that would be an enabler then.
There you go.
Simply referred to as a recruiter, who targeted the individual and prepared everything beforehand. Every move is thought out. By appealing to their weaknesses, fears, ambitions, or whatever they can use in order to win them. I already said yes! You know what they'd probably do in that case is when they meet you, you have your group of enablers, magistrates, whatever. You're like, okay, we have to see that your soul's in the right place. It's time to sacrifice your child.
Okay.
All right. Well, there you go. You're in the club. That's all we need. You know, because you seem pretty excited, but I had to know it was real.
Sure. Yeah. I can always make another one. That's fine.
They're
like shoes. I don't care.
His kid's upstairs going, Daddy.
I'm going to be immensely powerful. I'm going to get a lot of women. I can have them all pregnant at the same time. This is great.
I
got no problem.
Or whatever they can use in order to win them over. The recruiter leads them down a path of heresy. The one thing that is important to remember is that it has to, this is the fun part.
Has to what?
Be an active and willing choice.
Yep.
A human can be lured, corrupted, and manipulated into making that choice, but cannot be forced by means of duress.
Sure.
Can't hold a knife to your kid's throat and say, pick your wife or pick your child.
Yeah, Sophie's choice, my ass. No, you can't do that.
Right.
Yeah, I got it.
You have to do it on your own.
Okay. What has my soul done for me lately? Nothing.
But good point. The recruiters groom. Oh, you can't say that word anymore. The recruiters groom the chosen target.
Well, except me. You don't need to groom what's already perfectly, articulated.
Already been. Well, you were groomed and just didn't realize. You see, you think it was on your own, but they're behind the scenes going.
Yeah. You want to do that? That's fine. No. I am the grass that grows in the pattern you were going to do in the first place. That's me. Right?
Yeah, you're starting to write the dark symbols. He's already writing the end of the sentence for you.
Exactly.
The process differs depending on the situation, circumstances, and personality of the human in question. If there's already a presence of evil and a willingness to submit to the darkness, the recruiter might be blunt. Hey, actually giving a display of what power is. Hey, you want to see something? You like that?
I love it. Sign me up.
Okay. If the one being groomed is more kind-hearted and desperate, the recruiter might appear as a good-natured friend wanting to lend a helping hand in a time of need.
I don't trust you now.
A grooming period can take minutes or hours, or be counted in days, weeks, and months. Once a person has willingly given his soul to the darkness, the actual initiation into true heresy begins.
Finally. I had to wait minutes.
I'm actually not going to read this part.
Oh, damn it.
It's all about standing around a circle that they draw little, things.
Kumbaya, blah, blah, blah. We're going to
you
summon dark symmetry into your soul.
Yeah.
I get it. It's going to hurt. Whatever.
Doesn't even have to hurt. You just sniff in some purple smoke, and then you feel it like, ooh, there you go.
Great. Sweet.
But let's talk about because let's get you to the part that you care about. Let's rise you through the ranks.
Awesome.
Heretics are given quests, and if they manage to succeed with the quest without exposing the cult to danger, be granted a higher status and more power. Now, this is the rub.
Yeah, I can't just go around, flinging, black fire everywhere. That's going to get weird.
Right. Okay. The other part of that is if your higher up thinks that you might be pushing a little too fast, your quest could be way outside the scope of your capabilities. And there's no recourse for you other than to try.
No, other than to get somebody else to die first.
Well, I mean, if that's part of the quest, yeah. I mean,
I'm going to make it part of the quest. The quest is the result. That is the quest. How you get to the result is up to you. And if this is an obvious thing that I can't do by myself, I'm going to throw as many hapless bastards in front of me as I can to die for the glory of me, so I can get to the end result, which is.
And that's usually awesome. Just be careful of being discovered.
Right. Well, the only people who are going to discover me are the ones that are the aforementioned hapless victims. So they're not telling anyone because they're dead.
These quests are often broken down into 2 or more tasks. They consist of evil deeds meant to further the cause of the Dark Legion, and as the heretics, Jesus, I can't read, rise in power and rank, the quests become increasingly harder.
Sure.
Not all heretics have what it takes. But player characters are considered to be exceptional and will be given a lot of opportunity to become part of the upper crust of the cult.
I got gumption, baby.
Basically, it's saying, hey, dungeon or game masters,
don't screw over the PCs who are heretics just because they're heretics. Stop it.
Right. If you don't want heretics in the game, don't allow it.
Allow it in the first place, you weak bastard.
Exactly. Exactly. After a successful quest, the heretic is granted another dark gift. Here is the other rub. You don't pick your abilities.
Okay.
The higher up gives you the ability.
No. See, that's part of the recruiting thing. I get to fling darkness fire from my fingers, or I'm not signing. That is my only thing that I will kill my son, I will kill my wife, I'll kill my mom. I don't care. I'll do horrible things to their dead body, which I'm not going to say on stream. But if I don't get to fling black fire from my hands, get out of my house. Get out of my fucking house.
You got a super chat if you want to put that up.
Oh, sure.
Pop. I like how Mutant Chronicles gives the story hope that maybe humanity will defeat the Dark Soul. That's actually the rub of this game. I've been saying that a lot today. The rub is that people say that it doesn't give you hope. At least Rifts kind of gives you hope. This game doesn't. This game, every time you think, okay, we got some. No, he'll just wait you out. I can keep. Oh, wait, what? We lost a battle. I'm gonna have a million more battles sooner or later. You go ahead.
My masters are forever.
Yeah. So you won't have enough bodies.
Your god is suspiciously absent throughout this entire thing. Mine, right here, boots on the ground, bitch. You are going to lose and lose badly. It's going to be horrible. Not only are you going to lose your life, you're going to lose it in a way that you're going to be in a seemingly never-ending nightmare until the moment before your death. That's what you're going to do.
To be fair, I agree with gaming with ADHD on that, and I'll read the rest of it in a second. But a lot of people point out that this game, it's like, why do you even play it? There is no hope. You're ultimately going to lose.
Yeah.
And I think that a good game master can get around that, or if the end result is I can stem it for another 1,000 years, hey, great. That means me and at least the next few along my generational line are going to be fine.
Yeah, but at what cost? Their life is going to be crap. It's going to be a constant slug to get nowhere, to just survive. Just give in, man. Just give in.
Though for player characters, Heathen Dog is somewhat right. For the average person in the universe, though, while this stuff does exist and the world is a bit darker, the sun doesn't shine quite as brightly as today, the average person isn't as affected by this on a day-to-day. Your microwave doesn't just fly around your freaking house constantly. Most people might experience something like this a little bit in the life. Now, player characters are different. Luna PD is different.
Yeah.
People who are floating around in space are different. But your average shoemaker isn't going to run into a lot of this. You're just going to know it's there, and people talk about it, and you want to be kept safe from it. So now the rest of that comment was, it says long shot, but not the despair of the GW Games Workshop world. So Warhammer 40K. You also get the huge shoulder pads without all the skulls. Well, he doesn't like the shoulder pads.
The huge shoulder pads, that is another reason why I like the Heretic. His picture didn't have a lot of shoulder pads.
But thank you for the $9.99, sir. Appreciate that. And you all should check out Gaming with ADHD's channel. It's right there on this. Well, it was right there on the screen, but you can see it in chat. You saw it on the screen. Rewind a few seconds. You'll see it back up there, and make sure you subscribe to his channel. So where are we? So after successful quest, the heretic is granted another dark gift and a new rank, and we'll look at the ranks in a moment.
Woo.
If high ranking enough, he may be allowed to begin his very own cell.
All
The Cult of
right.
Heathen Dog.
The multi-level marketing campaign. I am now the top of my little tree.
There you
Woohoo!
go. At other times, he may be permitted to go on a pilgrimage to a citadel where he's granted the opportunity to undergo transfiguration
Sign me up.
and become more than human.
Yes.
This opportunity is only granted to the most devoted and skillful of heretics. For every other rank, beginning at Adept, the heretic is granted a pool of personal dark symmetry points. We'll see that in the little chart that's the headline below. The pool is refilled at the beginning of each new session and may be used in place of paying or spending dark symmetry points.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right.
Higher ranking heretics have more power as they gain better insight into the dark symmetry. So, as he said, every other rank, right? So, when I keep looking at this, I want apprentice and adept flipped, or I want adept after novice. Like, I don't know. I just feel like,
Yeah. It should be apprentice, novice, adept.
yeah.
It really should.
But anyway,
okay.
here you see it here. So you start off as an acolyte, and then once you do your first quest and you get to adept, guess what? You get one personal dark symmetry point at the start of every session. When you hit rank 4 novice, you get 2, and you see how the chart goes until you're finally a dark magistrate. I like the name Lord Heretic. Lord Heretic just sounds cool.
It does sound cooler, doesn't it? Yeah.
Lord Heretic Heathen Dog, we've summoned you here and your goofy 4 eyeballs and tentacle earlobes, whatever, to take on your final quest. Nah, you know what? I like being a Lord Heretic. It just sounds cool.
Yeah, it's better.
All right, choosing gifts. There are 2 types of dark gifts: dark symmetry gifts and apostle gifts.
Okay.
Dark symmetry gifts are those that you see that?
Yeah, I see that.
To that any heretic may learn and use, while apostle gifts are only available to those worshiping the apostle in question.
Sure.
And we looked at some of those when we went to dark. Was it last week, the week before? When a heretic reaches rank 10, he is given 2 dark gifts and the ability to bestow gifts upon others.
Oh, outstanding. Hey, anyone want to join the Emperor Club?
Keep in mind that dark gifts can never be learned. They have to be bestowed.
Sure. Got it.
Right there.
Yep.
Right. And there you go. That's it for this.
That's great. So far, so great, man. This is awesome. I want in. I want in on that. All right. I only have 2 starred because there's a lot of Warhammer 40K talk.
That's cool.
But I got one of them. Mar Hawkman says, in Warhammer 40K, they have the same thing. Post Horus Heresy, the Emperor is dying. We don't know how many years it will be, but when he dies, the Chaos Gods will annihilate all life as know it. And that started a chain. Well, it's possible when the Emperor dies, he'll actually take the Chaos with him. Or it's also possible that without the corruption of the Emperor, the Chaos Gods won't have hold on the universe anymore, blah, blah, blah.
People will rationalize anything.
Yeah, I know. It goes on. It goes on. And then we have Derek Papas says, hope dies last. You know what? You know why hope dies last? Because evil thinks it's so great, stripping hope away little by little and watching the stupid meatbag cling to the small embers that are left as if they actually have a chance of winning just because hope exists. And only at the last moment do you take away that last little flicker of hope so the light goes completely out right before they die. And now they know their entire life they were wrong.
And that is exactly how horrors from Earthdawn work. They feed on it.
Yep. They feed on hope. They let you keep it as long as possible because they know once they take that last strip of hope away, you will die. Whether you just expire, kill yourself, whatever, you will die. And then the feast is over. So yeah, evil will keep hope around as long as possible. That's why it dies last, by design.